Welcome, everybody. My name is Crystal. I'm the host. We have here a special guest, Cameron Slim Road. So, Cam, before we can even go forward and discussing what Slim Road is, if you can just briefly, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Definitely. Long testimony, hard testimony, but by grace, He seen me through. Started off when I was about 5 years old. Parents divorced. That started the whole ball rolling into having tremendous trouble within the family. Parents divorced. My mom got remarried. But nevertheless, God was gracious. I ended up leaving home at the age of 16. Met up with my father at the age of 17.
This is your biological father?
My biological father at the age of 17, because throughout that time period of separation, he wasn't able to be a good father because he was captive. He was bound by drugs.
Okay.
All right. But by grace, again, he, I don't want to say enrolled, but God showed him a program called Youth Challenge of Hartford. And he was in that program around 1990. And that's about the time that I was kind of wondering where my father was at as well. He got delivered from drugs. He came to saving faith as well. And in that time, that's when we kind of reconciled.
Wow.
And so what occurred then was that I started going to the church building. I say that because it's a long testimony.
Right.
I had it, because we not say because we go to a church building, but I was going to a church building. I knew of the Lord, but I didn't know the Lord.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And that consists of having a relationship
with the Lord. And so as I continue to go to church, because I wasn't saved, there was a lot of stuff empty within my life. Fast forward quickly, age 26, I was then a divorced father to a felon, kicked out of the Air Force, whole litany of problems, personal problems, and that's when I came into saving faith. It seemed like I had to hit rock bottom.
Wow.
Before, and be done with them, done with myself, and not able to save myself, not able to help myself, be mentally out of the loop. That's when God came and saved me. And so from that point on, I've been growing in grace. So that's part of the hard testimony. The other part of the testimony is me being saved from religion. When I came back to church at the age of 26, I was really, really religious, really, really legalistic, looking back on it. But then again, certain things started happening within my life so that I had to, God started breaking me again in a certain direction, a certain way to help me to understand what I believed in. I didn't get re-saved, mind you. I was saved in spite of my workings. But I had to come into a greater knowledge of what I believed in and what my faith actually consisted of. And so that started me on the path of understanding the doctrines of grace, understanding who God is, understanding and being able to articulate the gospel. Because remember, I was telling you I was going to a church building since I was about 17 years old, but I couldn't articulate the gospel for about 10 years. I knew what to do. I knew all these other things. I knew what to do, what not to do, and everything else. But if somebody asked me what the gospel was, I really wasn't confident in that. And once God began to illuminate me with that certain type of a knowledge, that important knowledge of who he was biblically, that's when I started moving forward in what God wanted me to do. Thus, I'm here today.
God's grace. And that just goes to show you, people out there who are going through circumstances when they feel that they are at their lowest of lows, that God's hand is never too short to reach out to you. And Cam, that's, a perfect example of sharing your faith and how God uses, the lowest of lows sometimes. Okay,
Amen.
so amen to that. We'll take a quick break and we'll get back to you shortly.